Good morning and welcome to the Dark Roast. I'm Donna Stroll and I'm here with the always lovely and talented Rose Short. And today's topic of discussion is about shiny object syndrome. Our specific goal today is to provide you 5 steps that will help you kill that little squirrel that's running around your brain and get you focused. Because, if we're honest with each other, chasing shiny objects, if it burned calories, we'd all be fitness influencers, right? We'd all be rocking it. So today's job is to really help cure us of that, or at least get us, some steps that we can follow that will help us maybe stay a little more on track.
Yes. Shiny object syndrome, there are times it can be beneficial, but for the most part, it's really not, right? And it's not a lack of intelligence, and it's not laziness, and it definitely doesn't mean that you're bad at business. It happens because things are constantly changing, evolving, new products or new courses are popping up every day, especially, as people have gotten more and more into the make money online or just affiliate and digital marketing businesses in general. It seems like there's always something new to promote, always something new to look at. So, it's the online world is designed to constantly whisper like, hey, you need this, or hey, this might work better, or hey, I can solve your problems, right? So
And some are really good at it, so it's easy to get swept up.
Yep. It could be new tools. It could be new platforms, new strategies. I know a lot of new platforms started rising up when the TikTok ban started being talked about. So there's a ton more platforms for creators and whatnot now. And if you're doing the same thing and not seeing really the results you want, it can be really easy to get sucked into these things because you think, oh, maybe this will be the thing that'll finally catapult it, or this will be the missing link that'll finally bring me those 5, 10, 15K months. And it brings the excitement back, right? It's no longer boring. You feel happy and excited about its new opportunity. And if you don't get a handle on it, you're gonna basically stay busy forever without actually building momentum. And then you're also going to become the person that nobody trusts because every week they're promoting something new.
Absolutely. And it's easy to get distracted, especially if you're in a slump where things aren't moving the speed that you're expecting them to. Like, maybe you were sold that 3-month, $10,000 a day kind of thing. It's really easy to get distracted when new tools, because they all promise, that next step forward. So it's really your job to evaluate. So, and that takes us into our first step, right? It's simple. It's pause and evaluate. It can be uncomfortable because the first thing you've got to do is pause before you jump on the next bandwagon, before you swivel your head this way and that way. You have to pause. When a new idea pops up, you don't want to act immediately. You don't bookmark it. Don't buy it at 2 a.m. because, some of us are working the odd hours and just give it some space, give it some time, let it ruminate in your own head without going to that link. You don't want to go there yet. You want to ask yourself, is this aligned with my current goal, right? Or am I just chasing some relief from the discomfort I'm currently feeling in my business? And that's a big one, right? Am I just trying to fill a void? Or is it actually something that really aligns with what I'm currently trying to do? Because the reality is those shiny objects, they sparkle the brightest when you are in a state of discomfort, when things are hard. That's when they shine the brightest. So pausing gives your logical brain an opportunity to sort of catch up with that emotional side of you. And making decisions on emotions alone is always going to land you in trouble. It just is. Whether it's love or business, or it doesn't really matter. You need a moment to pause and go, is this really good? If it still makes sense in a few days, then fine. Great. Go for it, right? You've taken some time to really pause and let it, think about it. If not, congratulations. You just saved yourself some time and money and restarting all over again. Right? So
Yep.
bonus.
Yes, logic over everything, guys. So much better. You also have to determine, does it match up with your goals, right? Because so often when people start online businesses, they don't necessarily have clear goals. They usually have a clear why, which is good. Your why is super important and you absolutely need that. But you also need to have very clear goals, just like you would with a fitness or a workout, training plan. Your business is no different. So your goal shouldn't be, oh, grow my business, because what does that mean? What does that look like, right? Can you articulate what your real goals are? So is it more income from this particular platform? Or is it more traffic to this particular link that performs really well? Is it more conversions for this particular offer that you're really, really into? And then once you have that, then you can ask, does this new idea directly support that? And if the answer is no, then it's probably not a good idea, right? It means it's not right for you. It's not right for right now, right? Maybe it is something that will be right down the road. We talked about this before with Go High Level, where Go High Level is a very good marketing platform, but it's not necessarily the best for a beginner because it is pricey. And there are a lot of tools that a beginner doesn't really need yet. So, it doesn't mean you can't come back to it, but if it doesn't align with your current goals or your current, next step, then that's where you got to say, nope, sorry, not for me. And, you can create a parking lot of ideas too, right? Like you can write down, what, in the next 5 years, maybe it'll be beneficial, or even in the next year, if you reach these other stepping stones, so you can write it down, you can review it later. You should be doing monthly check-ins with your business anyway. Even if it's just you, right? Treat it like a staff meeting kind of thing. And your future self will definitely thank you.
Yeah, I have a little whiteboard, like an eraser board here. And when I see something that I really like that catches my interest, I just write down the website so that I can go and look at it later. It's there, it caught my attention, but I'm not gonna like follow it down the rabbit hole, because I will absolutely end up somewhere in, with like the Cheshire cat smiling at me, because I know down the hole I go. So and that brings us to step 3, which is, prioritize, and you got to do it ruthlessly, right? Things can get a little bit more challenging here. You don't need more ideas. You need fewer priorities, right? Pick your main focus. Just one. Not 3, not this plus that, not, well, this is my priority, but, this on, no. One thing that moves your needle the most right now. Okay. And then block time for it, protect that time. Also stop negotiating with your distractions like they're reasonable adults. They're not. They're cats. They're running around, with the zoomies at 2:00 in the morning. Their job is not to keep you on task. Their job is to distract you. And I know that focus feels boring, right? As someone who does require things to be interesting, I get that it can be very boring to focus. And that's why you time block. You give yourself that time to focus, knowing that there's an end, and then you can, go have some zoomies yourself. Progress is quiet. Usually it's quiet because it's that one step in front of the other. It's doing the things that need to be done, and that's okay. And I know that shiny objects can be bright and sparkly and loud, and they're fireworks, but we don't need fireworks. We need progress, which is quiet. So
yep. And this is where accountability becomes in hand, right? Like we talk about this all the time as well. When you're a solopreneur, there is no boss or deadline looming over your shoulder, right? It's all on you. But that doesn't mean that you can't find an accountability partner or, find ways to hold yourself accountable. So, the whole concept of willpower has been pretty well determined as hokey. If it worked, we'd all be unstoppable. But the truth is, like, willpower is really not a thing. Like, we talk about it and we like to believe it is, but it's really not. So, just thinking that like, oh, I have the willpower to stick with this is going to work. Harsh truth, guys, it's not. Accountability, consistency, and discipline is what changes behavior or changes, brings about your goals. So
absolutely.
Tell someone what you're doing, what you're committing to, right? You don't have to announce it on Facebook. It doesn't have to be the big, what's it called? I can't remember now, catchy post, right? It doesn't have to be the clickbaity, that's what I was looking for, clickbaity post on Facebook or anything like that, or the attention grabber, but tell your romantic partner, or if they know what you're doing, or tell your mentor, or your audience even, right? You can work it into your content as long as it aligns with the messages you're already sending. And when someone knows what you're supposed to be doing, you're way less likely to jump ship, right? Same thing as like if you have a gym buddy and your gym buddy's on your door going, "We are going to the gym," you're probably going to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Versus if it's just you can be like, I'll do it later, right?
Yeah.
So, and accountability, it shouldn't be pressure, right? It shouldn't be someone who's going to be on your back 24/7 about it. But it is support.
Yeah. And it should be healthy. I always laugh about willpower myself because it's like, oh, I have the willpower to lose weight. Yeah. No, my willpower is I will eat this. I will not do that. I need some won't power. I won't eat this. I won't push off my exercise routine. I won't. That's what I need. But yeah, the whole accountability thing, I know it's hard, and we put pressure on ourselves as well, which can cause you to stop. That's why having a partner, somebody is saying, "Hey, are you ready to go?" Somebody that maybe you just check in with once a week, where you say, "This is what I've done for my business today." And if you are in a course, or you've signed up for, maybe you've done a course and you have that group that a lot of them have, pick your accountability partners there, because they know exactly what you're going through. They might be a step behind or a step ahead. You can keep each other on track, and that can be where you start. And then you find people who align more with you or whatever, but it doesn't have to be a difficult process. It's just there to help you. And then step 5, which is the last step, review and don't reset. Okay. This is usually a place where people will self-sabotage. Instead of reviewing the process, they reset everything. Right? New plan, new system, new tools. Woo! Right? Don't do that. Right? Instead, you're going to stop, and you're going to just review what worked, what didn't, right? What needs adjusting. So maybe that new shiny object system that you're looking at doesn't need to replace everything that you've already built. Maybe you can take a piece of it. You don't need all of it. And that's a big one, because usually when we see something new, the idea is to start fresh again. But then you're just constantly starting fresh again and not getting anywhere, right? You know that, like we all know that. We've been there. So, you just need to figure out what needs adjusting, not completely abandoning. Progress compounds when you're, refining the situation. You're not just throwing, as the old term goes, the baby out with the bathwater, right? You're just putting clean water in. That's all. And consistency is big. We talk about it all the time. It does beat excitement. I mean, excitement is awesome, and you're still going to have exciting moments in your business if you are consistent and building. You're going to have those, instead of I got a new sale, I've had 7 sales this week, to I've had 14 sales this week. I have hit my first, financial milestone goal that I was looking for. All those things are the exciting things, but they happen because of consistency. Right? So.
Yep. And again, it doesn't, shiny object syndrome, if you have it, it doesn't mean you're failing. It doesn't mean that you're, a bad person, anything like that, right? We live in a world that is designed to throw shiny object syndrome at you in, online, in real life, on the radio, even, it's around us all the time. And if you have it, again, you're not failing. It just means you care. But, you care about your success, you care about making this work, but focus is how that care turns into results, right? So, stop chasing every new course, every new thing, pause, align, prioritize, add your accountability, and then review without, like she said, blowing everything up, right? Like if you're going to the gym and you're doing weightlifting and you're finding that half of it works, and then cardio is the next big thing, you're not going to scrap all your weightlifting to go, start running, right? Or at least you shouldn't. If you are, yeah, if you're changing up what you're, and then if the next week you're doing Pilates and the next week you're doing jazzercise, like, yeah, you're probably not going to see consistent results because exercise takes consistency, right? And your business is the same way. If you're exercising, you're building a body. If you're staying consistent with this, you're building a business. And that's where you need to focus on building and not, starting a bunch of projects and then going bankrupt.
Yeah. And that's another thing, is that restarting all the time is expensive. It's not just expensive for your time and for the progress of your business, but it is expensive for your wallet too. Even if what you're restarting is cheap, the amount of money and time getting all your messages out there again, it's just expensive. So, it's a simple 5-step process, and I would really strongly advise. And if you're struggling, as always, reach out, right? If you don't know where to reach out to us, and we'll see if we can help you. And if we think that you need some different kind of help, we have people that we know, and we can direct you in that direction as well. So, all right. So yeah. So if you think that maybe you need to do some focus, do your future self a favor and don't ignore it. Go through these steps, take some time, share this with someone that you think could use it, right? Maybe you have a friend that's busy going, right? By all means, share this with them. All right, that's it. And that's all from us for today. Thank you so much for coming. That's it from us. If this episode helped you,
or at least entertained you,
go ahead and like, subscribe, and share.
We'll catch you next time.